Happy Masters Week to
To
you.
you.
Happy
Happy
Masters
Masters
Week
Week to
to
us.
you. What a freaking week it is to be a golf fan. I woke up this morning elated. Christmas Day. Couldn't be more excited.
I woke up this morning. Another U word.
Fully
Can't
erect.
wait for this
I'm
right
about
here.
as hard as a diamond in an ice storm. Name that movie.
I don't know it. I'm terrible at movie
Oh,
quotes.
fucking
Terrible at movie
Talladega
quotes.
Nights.
It
Ricky
is.
Bobby, dude.
Wait. Oh
It's at
my
the end when
gosh.
him and whatever that chick's name is with the glasses about to get it on, and he's like, "Is
That
this
is
for
one of
real
my
right now?
favorite movies of all
Because I'm
time.
about as hard as a diamond in an ice storm." Everybody look away. We're gonna start making animal noises. And they're like,
It's like, and my favorite is the blooper where he says, "If you don't chew Big Red, then fuck you."
"Fuck you." Yeah, that's an absolute classic.
Uh,
Welcome back to another edition of the Uta Golf Podcast, 19th Hole Podcast. My co-host here, Logan L. Dub Golf, and yours truly. We are absolutely juiced to be able to bring you this week. Great week to be a golf fan. We obviously have the Masters, a lot included there to be chatting
Big week.
about. We got who's going to win the Masters, the dinner's coming up. We have a night's big announcement with the TGR, which is Tiger Woods' foundation, about an expansion that's going to go with Augusta Municipal, which is, I believe, across the street from Augusta National. But anyway, exciting stuff there. Who we're going to be betting on. We have some little niche things like items that we would want to see if we could buy if we had the chance to get one item that are exclusively sold at the Masters. Um, a lot to dive in. I mean, we obviously have the Final Four. It's happening right now. Exciting stuff. All number ones made it to the Final Four, and now we're heading into the championship, which I believe is Florida versus
Houston.
Houston.
Yep.
Is that right?
Florida,
Or is
Houston.
it Auburn, Houston?
Nope.
It's Florida, Houston, right?
Florida, Houston. Auburn lost to Florida.
And then obviously, big news for Brian Harmon. Believe that's his fourth win on tour in his
Yep.
career. Seems like a good dude, hard nose, plays a pretty boring style of golf, but boring is beautiful
Hey.
if you're trying to make some money. So, which is huge. We have some a lot of like fun little things that are happening in the industry that don't get seen a lot. For instance, we'll dive deeper into the details, but there's a golf course being sold in California for an astronomically low price. And we want to dive in kind of what your guys' thoughts are on that is. So we'll get into that a little bit more. There's a big breakup with a pro golfer and his caddy. And as you guys know, how important the caddy can be, that is big news for this guy. Blades Brown, young and upcoming star. I believe this was his first cut made on Corn Ferry.
On
So
Confer, yes.
we'll dive into that. And Hel Cabrera, he got into some notable news here, so we'll also dive into that. And then on the women's side of golf, the annual, I'm gonna butcher this,
What, the ANWA? Augusta
Anwa,
National
but
Women's Amateur.
oh, that's on me.
There
I
you
told you I
go.
was gonna butcher it. We haven't even started drinking yet,
Annual.
brother. So
Cheers to you, my friend.
the annual. So anyway, and then we have a fun game we want to play where it's I think Zyre Golf posted it, but a certain handicap guy said that he could swear that based off his game and how far they were playing for the Anwa, that he thinks he could have shot a 67. So we'll dive into the distance, slope rating, just kind of some of the scorecard things, and what a true 1.7 or 1.4 handicap kind of plays like. And now I can speak on a I could speak to hard on this. The lowest that I've gotten my handicap to is a 1.9. So kind of right down my alley here.
Yeah,
But
nice.
let's dive into it. First things first, man. Let's break down the Masters week. So a lot of people obviously know the tournament. They know the green jacket. But from start to finish, we got a bunch of shit that happens throughout the week, right? Besides just practice rounds. Now, one of the cool things that in tradition with the Masters is that the Sunday before the tournament weekend, so basically last weekend, the previous winner gets to invite one guest on a practice round. Scotty Scheffler's our previous winner, and he obviously brought his mother, which is massive brownie points for the Scheffler family. What a cool experience to be had. And I mean, let's be honest, we don't see much of the Scheffler parents. We see a lot of Meredith, which their relationship seems phenomenal. But I don't know. I think that's one of the coolest things. I don't that's probably I would probably bring my dad, but
Mm-hmm.
similar concept, you know.
Right. I think because I mean a lot of them do the par three course, so that's where they typically always bring the wives, the kids out, let them run around and everything. But it is cool to just have that tradition where you're just allowed to bring one person. So, I mean, you can obviously you're gonna look at your parents. Some people may look at friends. It just all depends. But it is cool that I mean he gets to pick his mom, take her out there, and I feel like that's just something that like she'll never forget and he'll never forget. Just the memories of just walking down there. I mean, even after winning it, what twice now,
Twice. Yep.
just being able to share those moments and just share that feeling with your mom is a big one.
Now, you talked about the par three competition. The par three competition is on Wednesday, and it's not mandatory, but a lot of the pros will sign up. And like Scotty was saying here, they'll usually have like their wives be on the bag in loop form or caddy form, that is. Or they'll have like a son or daughter, or sometimes for the younger players, they'll have like a
Right.
parent or an older sibling. But it's probably the coolest thing. If you guys are watching this and you're ready to check in on the Masters week, they they do one of the best broadcasts in all of golf that Wednesday, capturing all these moments, interviewing the players as they come through. I will say a lot of players though, and maybe not a lot, but there's a significant enough of players that don't play in it because there is a little
Skepticism. I got you, brother. I'll spell it out for you.
we're not even drinking yet, brother. I can't even speak. Skepticism on, or maybe voodoo, whatever you want to call it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't step on the chalk, break your mama's back kind of bullshit. But
Right.
anyway, if you win the par three competition, they say that no winner has gone on to win the actual tournament. So a lot
Correct.
of players don't really want to play in it, or if they do, they don't really take it serious.
I think they also said for the drive, chip, and putt, nobody's ever won the drive, chip, and putt and played in the Masters.
So
Or
great
did that
call,
happen
Scotty.
recently?
I think you're correct. The next event before the tournament is what Scotty just said, Drive Chip Putt Challenge. It's an amateur junior event that is probably one of the most intense things that these junior players have to play in outside of like, week in and week out playing in tournaments. Do you want to break down what it is?
So basically, the drive, chip, and putt is just going to have like it's kind of like your U.S. Open. So you have locals, you have sectionals, and then you go into the actual U.S. Open. So the same thing happens in drive, chip, and putt. So you'll have a
Mind you, this
local
is for
qualifier
kids.
for junior
Kids, by the way.
kids, right? So you'll
Yes.
have, I mean, all different ages. So basically, they just show up, and you're gonna have boundaries set up, putts that you have to make, and everything. And people with the best scores go on to sectionals, and then go on to being able to go to Augusta. Um,
Mhm.
so then basically all that gets filmed at Augusta. You're basically having the top juniors in the world competing against each other in a fun little environment. I mean, so the driving range, so the driving portion, you're going to have basically like an out of bounds line. So it's super important to hit the ball straight, and it's also important to hit the ball long. And it's just really cool for these kids to be able to get out to Augusta and see everything. And they typically always bring their parents, so that's something that they'll always remember. Chipping, obviously, as you can tell, is closest to the pin. You get more points for knocking it in the hole, obviously. And then putting,
Yep.
same thing. You get points for knocking it in the hole.
In
Um,
hindsight, too, it's basically like these kids have to go, and let's just say they get to their locals and it's 150 kids. All right. You pretty much have to be the number one kid to hit every fairway, to hit every chip within a 3 feet circle, or if not in. And then you pretty much have to hit all your putts. And then you got to do it again in a few weeks when you go to your regionals or sectionals and then regionals. And then you got to do it again to win it at Augusta. So if the next time you're at your driving range and you say, hey, let's see how I can do versus what these kids are doing, go ahead and set yourself some parameters, bomb it in the fairway. I think you got like 3 chances. Go ahead and chip one, and you gotta have make it in this little vicinity to get higher points, and you get higher if you make it. And then go ahead and putt like a 20-25 footer, and then do it again and again and again, and see if you would have qualified, because
Right.
it's not easy.
And I mean, honestly, what a lot of people could do, I mean, obviously you can't go to your just local range and put down some white lines to make boundaries, but some of these would be great drills, like putting a circle around the pin just to work on your chipping, making sure you're getting it inside that thing, or throwing a couple tees down. It's just as simple as that. And then especially the putting, just being able to get it inside the circle and get it into that. Basically, what I would say do is go up to the hole. What do you feel most comfortable standing over it? Like, is it a 2 footer, a 3 footer, 4 footer, and then make a circle around that and just try to work on getting the ball inside that circle at all times, from lag putting or even
Any
close
distance.
putt. Just
Yeah. Yeah,
trying to
yeah,
get it in there to your comfort zone.
yeah. Yeah, no, spot on. But uh, I don't know his name. The gentleman that won um, the drive chip putt challenge, dude. I'm struggling. I think I
Keep on drinking; it'll get better.
I start yapping more. I'm already king yap, but I'll start yapping more and more.
It's because he's
It'll get better.
ecstatic this morning. He's just ready for Masters Week.
Fully aroused. Probably shouldn't say that as we're talking about this challenge, but the dude who won this challenge this year had one of the most electric interviews ever. Can we pull this up?
Oh, let's see. Done to the
Because this
Instagram.
thing, it's on the Instagram. This
Got it.
dude is absolutely hilarious. This dude's gonna be the life of the party when he grows up. If you guys know him, find
How are
his
you guys gonna
address. I
celebrate?
need to send him.
You're good. You got it.
I need to send him a little congratulatory gift of what he's going to be celebrating with tonight, which you'll see here in a second.
Oh.
I don't know, probably gonna go back, have a few sodas, and just kind of party tonight.
Enjoy the party. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What is it like to
Buddy's about to live his best life.
He's about
He
to
said,
turn
"I don't
up.
know, about to go have a few sodas."
Might
Hey,
be hanging out
cheers
with
to
you
you,
later.
buddy.
Might be hanging out with you later.
Adult beverages only. You only drink if you're 21 years old. But I get what he's doing. He said, "Hey, you know what? It's time to enjoy. I had a lot of hard work that went into this. It's time to reap the benefits a little bit and put my shoulders down and enjoy
About to have a
himself."
couple soda pops. A soda pop.
I'm gonna send him a little soda pop. If you guys got his addy, hit the comments, hit our DMs. Let's send him a little congratulatory prize and present for taking that down. So kudos to him, man. I'm juiced. So let's dive into kind of the next bit with the Masters here. For one, obviously the Masters dinner. Phil Mickelson is known for playing one of the bigger jokes in the Masters history, where there's obviously the night before the tournament starts. There's the Champions Dinner, and the prior year champion gets to choose the menu and host a dinner. Now, here's the caveat to this that I just found out. That's not comped. I've heard that dinner is paid for by the previous champion, which I think is interesting because now it makes you think a little bit about what these players are choosing to put on their menu. And you see a lot of times the menu becomes a little bit more simplistic, especially when a guy has already won multiple times. And here's a list of the most expensive dinners out there. Now, if you guys were in last pod, Hideki Matsuyama has a really good Japanese styled or Japanese infused menu, and it is like off the charts. It's very close to the menu that I would have put together myself, which we'll take a look at in a second. But his cost per plate is around $220, and then obviously you can kind of go down the list and see how that changes. Where top 11, the 11th cheapest, which is one of Scotty's years, which probably is this year. Actually, I don't know. I think his second year. Well, it says it right there. This year's cheaper than the last, so there you go.
I find it very interesting that they're so far apart, even though they're so similar.
Yeah, they are very similar dishes, and I feel like it's almost like the titles just sounded fancier, but clearly the meals got a little cheaper.
Well, I think one of them's like Papa Scheffler is making something. Maybe he cut him a discount.
Gotcha.
Maybe he cut him a little discount.
Yeah, maybe his dad is getting on the payroll, but his dad's not charging as much as a Michelin star chef. So that's absolutely hilarious. But interesting. I mean, that's something that I didn't really know too much.
Right.
But I thought was super cool. But
It kind of
breaking down
Kind of
What are you saying?
reminds me of a moment of like when Blades Brown came in to the tour and he had to pay for something and he was like, "Oh wait, are you serious?" That would be kind of a
A
moment
yardage book.
like where you go in and you're like, "Hey, I'm at the Masters dinner," and it's oh that'll be 220. Wait, ah shoot,
No. It's not the champions that pay for it. It's the prior year champion that's hosting pays for the entire dinner.
ah, about to
So I
say
always thought
that would be
like it was
wild,
something that was just a part of it, where it was
right? I just thought
like
it was a
the
part of Masters, right?
Augusta org covers it, and it's something that's just what they do. No, like that prior year champion is signed up to pay for it himself.
I mean, you
So
think about it. Augusta's prices on all their food is super cheap. These prices right here,
it's cheap.
they ain't paying for this.
Not.
They ain't paying for this.
They ain't paying for that.
Pimento and
They ain't
cheese,
paying
that's
for
what you
that at
getting.
all,
Little barbecue
brother.
sandwich.
At all. Let's get a little hyped here though, man. I want to see some pictures of Augusta. This place is one of the purest places like we'll ever see in our lives. Funny story on it. I won't name any names just so we don't get ourselves into any trouble, but we had the rug pulled from us a few years back when Dude Perfect had the chance to go and film on Augusta. They had a couple members and obviously their org, worked something out where they can go film some fun content. Some of the only people to not be members to play on the course other than professional golfers
Right.
and what have you, and collegiate golfers and amateur golfers that play competitively in the state of Georgia. But what they ended up doing, it wasn't that they did Augusta wrong. For whatever reason, they decided to hinder how many guests are allowed per member, and they changed that to a one-on-one instead of one member being able to like bring a bunch of guests over. And so that same year, we had a member that was going to bring us both out. The rule changed to just one. We're obviously loyal bros, and we decided that we're going to wait
Can't do
till
it.
we go play it together. So
Right.
that's a tough one to swallow, but that's a tough one. That's something that we're gonna cross off our bucket list one day. And when we do, it's gonna be more worth it that we got to experience the whole thing together. Whether we shoot well or not, that's probably gonna be a top 3 greatest golf moment that we ever get together. So
Speaking of, in the recent Bob Does Sports video, I believe, Cutsy was very adamant whenever I believe it was FP that asked him, Cutsy, do you think you'll ever play Augusta in your lifetime? Cutsy immediately, oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's
I
an
mean, it's
interesting one.
all
It's all connections.
I don't I don't think he's wrong. I think Cutsy he does a good job like being himself but
Yeah.
accentuating his personality a little bit on camera.
Right.
But I think Cutsy is actually a lot smarter than he puts off on those videos. He's got a good business mind in terms of networking.
Right.
People like him. I personally like I think he'd be a really fun guy to get beers with and go out and have a good dinner with and do some fun stuff. I think his personality on the golf course is a little bit much for me. Not to say we wouldn't have a good time, but he seems like a guy I'd want to take in doses if I just can say that. Now, again, I think that he does that for the sake of the camera.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying? Now, what my whole point by this though is like I like everybody that's ever known Cutsy has the greatest things to say about him. So it makes me think like off camera, like he is still himself, but like
Right.
he's a really good, smart, loyal dude, or whatever you want to say, genuine,
100%.
wholesome, and everything like that. So I'm not surprised, dude. I wouldn't be surprised if he got on there.
We know
Dude,
one
the
thing
dude
though.
knows how to yap.
Cutsy's always gonna be late. Always.
Always late.
Never on time.
No hand up accountability going
No.
on there either.
More like hey,
Maybe.
I put it up. I put it up. I put it up.
It's like that's enough. I love that shit, dude. Me and my boys have over here on the West Coast have 100% adopted hand up
The hand up
accountability.
accountability.
There's just times when you can't say the word skepticism. You have to raise your hand and say, you know what, maybe we need to.
We both get different things from their videos. You get hand up accountability, and I start just eating the shit out of Caesar wraps.
Dude, I had someone bring up the last pod about the Caesar wrap. A couple people actually, but two people in particular that I respect their opinion about the Caesar wrap. And I'm gonna give it a second go, guys. You heard it here first.
Telling
I'm
you, man.
giving the Caesar wrap a second go on the golf course. So
It's amazing. It's amazing.
we'll try it out.
I love it.
But beautiful, man. So obviously Masters Week's coming up. All the exciting stuff leading up to it is This is just the greatest week for golf, man. Like, I'm glued to my TV, I'm glued to my phone. Another thing that they added right before we get into the Masters favorites and who we're betting on, and we're gonna do a live bet here, so stay tuned. Um, they have an ongoing feed of the Masters range, and you can click in
Yes.
specifically to each individual.
so
like,
sick.
let's say Bryson's out there hitting today, and they have an overall view of the range, and then Phil Mickelson walks up. You can click on and go watch Phil's TrackMan numbers and see what he's doing, how he's working on it, or how he's working on his game, what shots he's hitting. I mean, it's some of the best coverage that I've ever seen. If you want to learn how the pros are going about their business, you need to watch the Masters on the Range.
Oh, it's so cool to see. And I mean, just being able to see all those numbers, see all those shots. And a lot of people, like some people aren't a big fans of your top players, your Scotties, your Phils, your Tigers, your Jordans. They kind of want to see their guy that maybe they know him personally, or maybe they had that moment one day. Hey, can you sign my hat? And they fell in love from then and there. So it's going to be really cool being able to see everybody that you want to see. And I guarantee you, there's going to be some moments that are caught off of this that are going to pop up on social media. Like, say somebody has some crazy like ball speed, or just has
Shanks one.
like an right Shanks one here I go, an unorthodox,
cheers.
an unorthodox, yeah. But somebody has an unorthodox warm up. Say they do some weird things, because I can't remember. It was an older head. I want to say maybe like David Toms or somebody. They started out warming up, and they started with a hybrid because the hybrid was the easiest to hit for them. And they just knew they weren't going to like hit a shank or hit anything crazy. So they would start warming up with a hybrid and then work into their wedges and work up the bag. So it was really interesting. You're going to learn a couple things about some people and stuff like that.
Yeah, that is super interesting. All right, well, let's dive in. Let's pull up the link for the odds for the Masters here. It's starting to settle. I caught an odd super early on of plus 1,800 to bet on DeChambeau to win it. Now, 3 or 4 years ago, whatever it was, Bryson got a lot of flack for saying that he thought that the Masters for him was around a par 67 or if not even a par 68. Now, they've done a little bit of some renovations to make the course a little bit longer. I think it's up to like 7,500 in length, while it used to be like 71 or 72, which for the pros, that's huge, right? You're talking about the difference, like you hear 300 yards, you're like, oh, whatever. But in hindsight, that's the difference between having mid irons to having wedges for them on almost everything. And Tiger has even come out to say like that golf course used to be super easy for him because back before the renos, like the furthest club he had in, and it was on his approach shot, and it was a par 5, it would be like a 7-iron or something like that. And so that course is easy for him. Now Bryson's stupid long, so the course still kind of plays in that neck of the woods if he's driving it well. And the reason that I bet on him is because I believe Bryson's game is at its peak. I believe Bryson's confidence at his peak. I believe that Bryson's not playing for the sake of, can I make a career in this? He's playing for the sake of, I want to be the best. And in order to be the best, he has to show up for these things. So he is dialing in his game. This dude's one of the most hyper-focused humans that I've ever seen. And he's very transparent with it, with this new upbringing with social media. He's absolutely killing it in the YouTube space. So I'm a DeChambeau fan here. Like I said, I caught a good line here. I don't know what the line's at now, but
I will say
to win,
I love
14 to 1
Bryson.
odds.
Yep, 14 to 1 right now. Plus 275 top 5, plus 150 top 10. I mean, I feel like now the Masters is turning into you have to be a bomber. I think your guys that hit it short aren't going to have a chance anymore at how long it's getting. You got to be able to get it out there. And I mean, do you have to hit it as long as Bryson hitting it like 350 off the tee? No. But one of the things, and I think the only thing that goes against Bryson is it seems that people who can fade the golf ball play really well at Augusta. Not saying he can't fade it,
Yeah,
But
but he definitely likes to sling it a little bit more.
I
He's a
also
right to left
see
guy.
where a right to left ball could work so well at
I mean,
Augusta.
you start to think about like 11, um,
2.
2,
I mean, I feel
what
like there's,
else?
I just
16, I think.
maybe the cut ball has
No,
always
not
worked
16.
because you can hit it higher and you can
15,
stop it a
whatever it
little
is.
bit better.
Yeah, and I think it's because for one, the Masters isn't necessarily just about like carrying it stupid far, and
Right.
Bryson plays that high draw because the
Right.
high draw is the furthest thing, the longest ball you could hit. It's gonna go far if it's high, and then it's gonna roll a shit ton after. While
Right.
the Masters, if it's so undulated that if you hit cuts that are even a little bit further back, they're gonna hit that same undulation, and they're gonna work into those places that the slingers will get to. So, and it's
And then
easier. All the pros say it like what's the saying? Something about like a hook won't listen or something like that. Like you can
uh,
talk to a draw,
you
but
can
a hook won't
talk
listen
to
or something. Like that.
you can talk to a fade, but you can't talk to a hook.
Yeah, something along those lines. So I mean, there's a reason that the old heads have coined
Yeah.
that saying, and I think it holds true at
And I
Augusta.
think another thing that Bryson has going for him is his putting. His putting is so good. And
He has a sneaky short game, dude.
yeah,
Sneaky short game.
and
And I don't mean like oh like he wedges it close. I just mean like I watch him frequently, and the days that he's not hitting it that well, he'll hole out. He'll chip in,
right.
And it's just like, dude, this guy just fucking fights and fights and fights and puts himself in the
He
hunt
wants it to
so that
bat so bad.
so that when he does have it going, it looks easy, and then you see him hit 64, like he'll pop in a 64 or like a 62, and you're like, oh shit, dude.
And I know a lot of people
Bad
kind
day.
of give him flack for that, for saying like 67 is his par out there. But I mean, like, just imagine if 67 is his par. Like, he's playing really well right now. And he just goes out there and, like, if he shoots 5 under every day, he's winning the golf tournament
Easily. The
easily.
lowest scorer I think in the golf history or Masters history is DJ's year, and it was a different year because COVID, they had to push back the Masters to the fall, and then it was very wet, and so that course has a lot of protection from not only having undulated shots all the time, but like you can't just like you have to land the ball in certain places. I should have brought this uh, so we can look at it. If you ever heard of what's it called, Putt View? Is that
Yeah.
yardage book company?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you ever looked at Putt View, it'll give like a full breakdown of yardage book for the entire course, but it also break down like
The
a
green.
close up of the putting green itself, and it shows like red for like super steep, slopey places, and like green for like more flatter. And if
Right.
you look at like 90% of the greens at the Masters, if this is the green, there'll be like a couple spots that are green, meaning they're flat, and everything else is like massive slope rolling off, rolling away. And so these guys have to be very strategic about where they're putting it. Now, the year that DJ was playing in that fall, they didn't have to. It was so in the fall, it was very wet and rainy.
Right.
So everything was like sticking. And these dudes were like able to like quickly realize, like, oh, we can just go after shit. And DJ, he was flagging stuff. Obviously, he was rolling the rock well. He kind of had a
Right.
heater. But that's where you saw, I think he shot somewhere at like 22 or something like that, which we've never seen. Now, like you said, if Bryson goes out and shoots 67, which is his par, every day, he's going to easily win this tournament.
Right. And I think another thing we'll have to look at coming into the tournament is the weather. So I know it did rain pretty good there today, I believe, because they weren't allowing people in. Um,
Mm.
but that is, I think, will make it softer. I think that's one probably going to play into Bryson's favor even more, just because that draw will
Mhm.
be able to stop, that high ball will be able to stop, but he's also still going to get the carry that other people aren't going to get.
Yeah,
Um,
he'll get into places that other people
I
aren't
think it
for
all just
sure.
relies on the driver. If he's hitting that driver well, if he keeps
He
it in the
wins the golf tournament.
fairway, it's going to be tough. And I mean, obviously, we've got Scotty, we've got Rory, we've got John Rahm. John Rahm's playing well. You've got a lot of guys that are playing well right now.
Hmm.
Hopefully, and I'll bring this up. Hopefully, we can get something that can get somewhat close to this leaderboard right here.
And that begs the question, is the 2019 Masters the greatest Sunday that we've ever seen in Masters history? And
That
if you break down the scoreboard from top to bottom, it's just fucking all-star after fucking all-star after all-star after all-star. We're talking Tiger Woods, and at this point in the tournament, he was, I think it says in the background there, he was through 14 holes. So if you were
Right.
to rewind it about 3 holes, he was sitting around, I think, 10 or 11 under.
Mhm.
And I don't remember which hole he's birdied. I believe it was 11. He took care of business. And Molinari started his blow up. If you guys remember him clipping the tree, ball in the water, hits the ball in the water on
15.
12. And
Hits
then
the ball. Yep. 12.
Xander hits the ball in the water on 16, the par 3.
Finau hits it in the water on 12.
Finau hits it on 12. And it was like Brooks Koepka said it the best. He said, for one, he made a quote that was about the total record of majors. He said, I don't think 18's as far out as people think. And people are like, oh, how did it feel? And he said something along the lines of like, as a kid, and a young amateur, like you wish the day to play Tiger. And he's like, and the old quote, the fuck you don't.
Yes.
And he showed it right there.
I love that.
Like he
One of
came
my
and he
favorites.
just hunted down the way that he did back in his prime. It would be great to see that again. Sadly, I don't think we ever will. Tiger's body and physique is just, while he still looks strong and able, it's hard for him to keep up. And he's obviously not even playing in the tournament this year.
Right.
And so it's just hard for him to be able to walk these kind of things. But back to the question. I mean, Tiger Woods, DJ, Brooks Koepka, Molinari, Xander, Ricky Fowler, Jason Day, John Rahm, Cantley, Simpson, Finau, Poulter. Every single one of those names is like one of the most elite historic golfers to this day. That is unbelievable, dude.
It's just wild to see all those names. And then again, you look at it through 14 holes. So we're on the 15th hole. We've got what? 15, 16, 17, and 18. We got 4 holes left. We got 5 guys tied at 12 under and 2 guys off, 1 shot off the lead.
Dude, there's a clip of, if you remember, I believe he took the lead after 15. I think.
Right.
I could be wrong on this. He could have still been tied.
So.
But steps up to the box on 16.
Oh my gosh.
And Koepka's group, I don't remember who else. It looks like Webb Simpson was in his group and Poulter. And so they're sitting on the tee box of 17. And if the tee box of 17 is elevated, if you're looking from the tee box of 16, it's elevated up to the right. And so they're like peeking over, trying their hardest to see what happens. And Tiger ends up hitting the perfect mark with a little draw, and it filters down the hill to like 2 feet, maybe less.
How does that ball not go in?
Hitting the putt, but the place just erupted. Now, as a competitor, you watch the dude who's either tied with you or if not up by 1 do that right behind you, and his name's Tiger Woods. Good luck. Good luck.
I mean, dude, that shot. I mean, he hit it exactly where he needed to, and it was just like your typical Tiger. He does it in the moment whenever he needs to. It catches the slope, and I mean, he's literally sitting there. And speaking of, if you look at the shot of him talking to it, saying, come on, come on, come on, you know who's standing right behind him? Another goat. Another goat.
No.
Mr.
Michael Phelps.
It is just crazy. Yep. And it's what's crazy is they're both kind of like leaning over, just watching it, and Tiger's just come on. And I think Tiger, I feel like anybody else in that field at that moment, if they would have hit that ball in the hole, would have been really hard for them to come back from. Because let's be honest, when we hit a hole in one, we get excited, we go crazy, we go nuts, and it's just hard to fix your nerves. But imagine.
Yeah.
And I can just see, I could literally just see Tiger not even making a face.
Dude, you're 100% right. And I haven't hit a hole in one, but I have holed out a few times from pretty deep. And both times that I did, actually one of the times I was absolutely blacked out. It made this noise, this compression noise, where someone's like, "Oh, it hit the stick," and I stopped and I started registering. I was like, "That didn't just hit the stick. I know what that sounds like. I've done that a bunch." that thing sounded like a
Sucker.
like it caught.
Yeah.
And so we like go running up and it's gone. I look in the hole and it's in there. The other time though, I got to watch it hit like a pitching wedge from like a buck 45 or whatever, 46 or something, and hit a little pass and it spun back down and it just
Those
holed.
are the best.
And me and my brother, like I threw my club, we looked at each other, like chest bumped, screamed, ran down, grabbed the ball, sat there, blood's pumping, like full adrenaline
It's
kick.
so hard
That
to come down from that.
dude. The next tee-ball.
Couldn't touch it.
Not on this map, dude. Still hasn't come down, but not on this map.
Oh, it's awesome.
So to answer your question, you're right. I think the only person that could have handled that went in is probably
Man.
Tiger.
I mean, just
Maybe
the look on his
Koepka.
face. Maybe.
And I don't know about Koepka then. Because he was in the middle of his little major streak or whatever.
The only other one I could think of was maybe DJ, because DJ has the hole out at the FedEx St. Jude in Memphis. He holes out on 18 to win it and like barely cracks a smile.
Yeah, that's true. He's kind of has that dog in him for sure.
That's interesting. I mean, dude, if I was what, maybe one up or tied for the lead or whatever it was at Augusta, and I hit a hole in one on 16, it'd be hard for me not to jump in that damn water.
You're losing that tournament.
Like what? I gotta play 17
hilarious.
and I gotta hit the tee shot on 18. That bitch is not landing in this world.
Dude, you know what the craziest thing is about winning the Masters though is like, obviously you can talk about economies, inflation, all this stuff, and how prize purses are changing. But like, have you ever seen the what the first Masters winner's prize money was? It's actually insane. If I sent it in this DM. Let's pull up this Let's pull up this DM real quick. This thing is absolutely insane. It's this black and white one.
Black and white.
Yeah, I want to say it's further down.
Maybe down. Right here.
There it is. You passed it. Yep.
15 honey.
The first ever Masters winner made $1,500. Now I don't know what the conversion rate is in terms of our inflation rate is in terms of 1934, and I'm assuming $1,500 is a fuck ton because obviously we hear like housing markets and stuff, and back in the 50s like you could get a house for 50 grand. It was a beautiful home, so $1,500 is probably a shit ton of money.
Right. That is wild.
30s. But
winning
that's
score
crazy,
was 4
bro.
under.
Like you have to add 3 more zeros and like times it by like 2 almost.
That's
to even talk about the prize money today.
Imagine that.
You know what I mean?
I'll take 15, honey.
Yeah, I'll take 1,500 for sure.
I'll pay 15, honey.
I'll pay. Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. Holy shit, dude! All right, something cool with the Masters. They have like an exclusive. So the coolest part about the Masters, we've never attended it, not yet. Scratty's obviously working on his PGA, so he'll get to go yearly if he wants. They have exclusive stuff in their pro shop like the entire week, and they make a killing off of it. But the coolest part is they don't like upcharge like crazy. And what I mean by that is if you look at their menu, their sandwiches, their drinks, everything's gonna cost like $3, $4, while versus going to like a normal basketball, NBA basketball game or MLB game where you're gonna get garlic fries for $12, your water's gonna cost $6, your hot dog's gonna cost $8, and the next thing you know, you're leaving with like the shittiest meal ever, but gonna taste good, but like $30-$40, and then they're gonna ask for your tip. Masters is not like that, but they have nothing but exclusives, which is super fucking cool. And so we were thinking about like what's the coolest thing that you can get from the Masters if you can only get one item. And so for me, I saw, and I think a lot of pros do this, but I saw Tony Finau say that they make an exclusive putter, whether it's Scotty Cameron or not, that's specific to the year for that tournament, and he collects them all. And I would love to do the same. I think it's the coolest thing to have collector's item stuff, things that are in low, limited supply. And that's one of the things that I would pick. So if we went to the Masters today, my gift to myself would be whatever this year's putter is.
That would be sick. That would be sick. If I had to pick something out of there. I think it would be really cool to have like a Masters golf bag. I don't see many people doing like the Masters golf bag. I know typically the big brands they'll do like their major editions of staff bags, but I think it would just be cool to have just your standard like carry Masters bag. Doesn't have to be
I think
anything
that'd be
crazy.
sick.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was a staff bag, it would probably be the coolest. But like, are you gonna use it? No.
Yeah.
And if you want that just to sit in your the side of your room
Right.
and put your cool clubs in for sure. And you have a good collection of golf clubs and some cool putters and stuff. Like having that staff bag would probably be pretty sick. But if you got one that wasn't, like I see
I'm
what
more
you're
of a
saying.
guy I
I see
want
what
to
you're-
use I want to use it. I want to take it out there.
And that's my problem. I've always been a guy that's like, I have the stuff I use, but if something's super fucking cool, I'll get it to like have.
Yeah.
Like, and when I played baseball, I'd collect gloves. I probably have like 8 gloves. I have a bunch of gloves that I used, and they're all really nice, high end, Rawlings, Wilsons, whatever. Gold gloves, all the stuff. But I have like a good 6 or 7 that are like limited edition
Yeah.
and or one offs that I made that like I've put my hand in like 5 times.
Yep.
You know
I'm
what I
the
mean?
complete
That's just me.
opposite.
Yeah.
If I got like a replica of like Tiger's putter or something, I'd be like, yeah, this is now my game.
Going to the bag.
This is going straight
Oh,
to the
that's sick.
bag.
Good for you. That's sick.
Yeah, I think a golf bag would be dope.
Yeah,
Obviously
I think so
some
as well,
polos.
man. So you obviously know what I picked. I got a little bit of money on my on Bryson DeChambeau. I sprinkled some money on Brooks Koepka. He's one of my favorite guys. I ride with my faves for sure. I think we'd have a good time on the golf course. Do some competitive 2v2s. You're talking about different series like Phil Mickelson with Grant. The Duelist just had DJ and Wesley Bryan. You got Sergio and George. You had Bubba and Quan. Obviously, super happy for Sergio and George. I thought George hit that last putt. That would have been cool for him to be able to throw the icing on the cake. I personally think Brooks Koepka and myself could make a fucking run, and I think that the next duels, my guy, I obviously know he knows you to golf. He's commented on our shit before. He's liked it. We did a fun spoof thing of him and his wife back when they did a Florida trip. That's my guy. I'll bring the zins, you bring the good vibes. I'll hit a few putts. Probably not, but maybe carry us in that whole thing. But like, I think we can make a shot.
I think we can make a run. Man,
I think if he wedges it just close enough, like I can tap in for our group. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, all right, how about this? You take Brooks. I'll take Bryson.
Bro,
we can have us
do
a
you not
little
remember-
match. We can have
Do
us
you
a
not
little
remember
match.
when Brooks and Bryson played in their own match?
Yeah,
Brooks whacked his.
that's what I'm
waxed his
here for.
puss.
That's what I'm here for.
Waxes.
He's not
wax his
waxing.
puss, dude.
He's not waxing my puss.
Brooks isn't getting paid enough money to wax 2 pusses in one day, dude.
I'm waxing your puss, and Bryson's waxing his puss.
You heard it here first, dude. Brooks, my boy, I'll bring the zins, you bring the good vibes, and obviously some golf shots. We're going to take Bryson and my guy here down, dude. Down.
No shot. No
Bryson
shot.
can bring the cupcakes. Who gives a fuck?
Hey, speaking of, we will be, that match was to happen. We will be hitting a new driver on Team Bryson.
Shit, dude, I
Big
bought the
LA.
same driver.
Big LA guys over here.
Okay, so if you guys heard our first pod, we talked about the new technology and the LA golf driver. We bought them. We bought the LA golf drivers. We're going to test
They're
them out.
on the way.
Nobody's out here talking about them. People are saying like, oh, this is new. Nobody's hitting them. Nobody's putting them on a launch monitor. We're getting them here soon. Scratty's going to throw it on the launch
day I
monitor.
get
He's
it.
going to talk numbers. We're going to throw videos up of hitting it, how it feels. Let's talk about it. Is it worth it? Does the spectrum that they're putting different drivers on hold value versus what other manufacturers are? We've talked about it again. I'll note on it real quick.
Hey.
Every major manufacturer makes a low spinning smaller head. They make a forgiving head that they usually call the max version, and then they make a draw or upright / draw bias club, so they try to prevent the fade. This is the only company that's worried more about spin dynamics and ball dynamics with their club. So they're making it based off of loft and spin control versus left to right, which is changing the game. We're going to let you know, is it worth it? So stay tuned there.
One thing that would be really interesting if we could, I don't know if it would be like partnership wise with LA Golf, but it would be really cool to kind of test out the other options. So the way they do it is they have 5 different heads that have a different bulge and roll on it, so it's going to make the ball turn differently for different club head speeds. It would be cool to see like what would happen if you put the one that's for like a 80 mile per hour club head speed in our hands, and then you put one for 134 mile per hour in our hands. I know the shafts are going to
Yeah.
change, but I'm curious,
Yeah.
like if we just took the heads, put them on our shaft, what would happen to those? That'd be a really interesting
good
video
question.
to do.
We're gonna break it down for you guys, man, and we're excited. Like we'll be the fucking guinea pigs and gear nuts and nerds when it comes to this, so that we can answer the simple questions for you, so you don't feel like you have to go out and find the perfect fitter or go have 97 different fittings with every manufacturer to figure out what's best for you. So stay tuned, dude. A lot of exciting stuff coming. But Scratty needs to figure out his pick here. I've been yapping my absolute piece off about who I like. I want to hear what Scrat likes. I know we're on the same page with Bryson. But...
So I know we're gonna do our pick and everything and try to do a bet. I mean, obviously, like last week I was talking, I love Rory and I love Bryson. You like Brooks and you like Bryson. So
shout out to Duke, by the way.
Shout out to Duke.
Absolutely love that little guy.
Yes, he's getting after
little
it.
Big ass guy. Yeah, he
little
is.
big
Yeah,
ass
he
guy.
is.
He is squeaking
hey,
away.
Follow Duke. Follow Duke the Being on TikTok.
Duke the Bean on TikTok, all social, baby. We're Duke to the moon. But I think we do something with Bryson in it. I would love like maybe something that's got a little bit better odds. I was thinking maybe if you want to dabble in like a parlay of making the cuts, picking a couple people to make the cut.
I love this. Let's go, Scratty. You're absolutely getting my wiener going. Okay, let's go.
I say we throw a little
make or
maybe
miss cut. Click on the right there.
Let's see.
Little up. Yep.
Yep.
Scroll down.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we can throw the ones that we obviously know are going to be in there, but we got to put some heaters in there because we want to make some dollars.
Hit Scotty.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hit
Bryson.
Hit Bryson. Hit Justin Thomas.
Okay. You give me 5 picks and I'll get 5 picks.
We're gonna do a 10-leg parlay. Oh my god.
I'm trying to.
Okay.
To the moon.
Okay. Let's go 4 and 4. Let's do an 8-leg.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like a pussy now though, because I'm like I thought we were just doing this together. Like I want to get some plus odds, but like throw Xander on. Throw Xander on there. No, throw those as well. We'll throw it all.
We'll do these picks up here, and then we'll do a crazy parlay right here.
Don't do Fleetwood.
No, I'm not doing Fleetwood. I gotta play Justin Thomas. Yeah. All right, then who's
the slow down?
All right.
You got him, Xander. I think that Patrick Reed should be on there. I'm not a big Patrick Reed fan, but
he did play well.
He plays very well at the Masters as well. He's from Georgia. I think he went to like Georgia State or University of Georgia, one of the two.
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's see. Scroll down.
All right.
Hey, by the way, on the bottom right, put your wager. Put $25. Okay, cool. This will show us how much money we'll make once we start putting in all the names.
Let's see. Angel is plus 350 to make the cut. What the heck?
Don't waste our time here. Don't put Zach Johnson. He's the biggest douche in golf.
Hiroshi Tai. I love Freddie.
All right, scroll back up a little bit. This is dicey. Put Sahith on there.
Like one thing that I'm really curious about, like, is I sit here and I think of all the guys that like have been playing really well. Like one that I low key kind of like is Tom Hogue, been playing well. Gracerman's been playing well. Let's see.
Do not put Max Homa.
I can't.
So on this note, Scratty's gonna keep paying attention there, but Max Homa and his caddy has broken up, and that is
They
a
have.
big, big news. You obviously know my background with caddying. Scratty knows it from the side of a competitor, and it's very important to make sure you get that partnership correctly. And when you find it, you find these pairings stay together for years and years, and it takes a long time for them to break up. Now, they obviously broke up. Max Homa had a apparel change. He had a club sponsorship change. His swing has it's always been good, but he's always searching for more, and he's talked about that, and he's made a couple different moves where I think he's questioning things. He didn't do like what Rory did. Rory talked about he wanted one thing that he wanted to change in his swing. I don't remember what it was specifically, but he said he went to a launch monitor and he spent 4 straight weeks without looking at flight. And what he meant by that is like, I want to just do this move and flush it.
Right.
And what that means is he wants to feel it out of the center of the face. And then once that was a thing, he said, all right, now I want to go learn to control it. And then I want to go do it competitively on a golf course. And he broke down his training that way. And what did he come out and do? He won Pebble Beach, and then he won the Players. And I think that's phenomenal. I think Max Homa needs to do something like that. Right now, his swing is in this limbo of fighting what he used to do versus what he wants to do. And he's just struggling to put it into competition because, I mean, we all know that like he's flagging it. This dude's an absolute stick, you know, obviously. So, yeah, I mean, I would definitely say that breakup's going to change up stuff in his camp, hopefully for the better. And we see Max Homa become kind of the beast that he once was.
Right.
You know?
Love Max
All right, can I
Homa.
change it? Not change, but can I add some shit or whatever?
It looks like we can only do 10. We got to pick our favorite 10.
Can we take Wyndham out of there? I think
Okay.
he's such a mark, dude.
I do too. I just
Can we
figured
put
we'd make the
Finau
cut.
in there?
Yeah. I like Finau.
Can you find Corey Connors' odds too? Corey Connors does
Connor?
really well at the Masters.
Is he up here? Tell me if you see him.
Probably.
Up there,
Yeah,
he's right
he's
at the
above
top.
Xander. Never mind. Yeah, take him off. Take him off. Take him off. The odds are shit.
10-legger.
We're at plus 2,300. Put $25 there. What's that win us?
585. Hoping at least $1,000.
We're only putting $25 down. So
Yeah.
if you really want to spice things up,
Take
take
Scotty
Scotty
off.
Scheffler off of it, and then
you
let's
could-
go put someone crazy down.
Somebody
All right, take
crazy.
Bryson off.
We take Bryson. We think about like Tom Hoagie, Max Gracerman. I'm just thinking of people that have been playing well at the beginning of this year.
Tom Hoagie's kind of older, is he not?
I
Who's
think
longer,
somewhat.
Gracerman or Hoagie?
Gracerman for sure.
Is older?
Oh, I thought you said longer. No,
Oh, I'm
Hoagie.
sorry.
I
I
would think
did say
it's
longer.
Hoagie's
Hey,
older.
hey. Dummy. Yeah, put Gracerman in there.
Do we think Patton Kizzire takes it home
No,
after breaking his putter?
no, we do not.
Um.
Yeah, put Gracerman on that bitch.
Oh, now we're
There
talking.
you go.
All right, how do we like this? All right, JT,
JT, I love.
like it.
Corey Connors, I
love
love.
it. Xander, love it.
Xander, love.
Patrick Reed,
Patrick Reed,
I
I
hate
love.
it, but I love it.
I hate it, but I love it. Yeah, yeah. Finau, I
Finau,
love.
love it. Jaeger,
Jaeger, hot.
hot. Sammy,
Don't love it, but he's hot. I don't love this one. I want to take this one off. I'm gonna be honest. I think
Okay.
Sam Burns is an absolute fraud.
So you're gonna take this one off. You know one I want to
Yeah.
take off? I don't like Heath, dude.
Yeah, dude, he's hot and cold. All right, take him off. Put Cameron Young in there.
Yeah. Now you're going way. Cameron Young is the
don't think
epitome of hot and cold right now.
All right, take him off. Keep him off. Keep him off.
What
Put on Hoagie.
What do you think?
No,
He's playing good.
I don't give a fuck, dude. I don't give
He's
a fuck.
playing good.
Phil Mickelson
Ugh.
gets out there and he looks like my fucking 92-year-old grandfather.
Watch
trying
him
to
win
play
it.
The local
Watch him win
mini,
it.
dude.
What do we think about Joe
He didn't
Highsmith?
Wait, didn't he take
He
second?
just came in like
a year or
second.
two ago.
No, he almost just won the live event.
And he also almost won it like last year.
Yeah, and he
2 years
almost
ago.
he played really well in the live event the week before last. Telling you, man, he's playing good.
All right, put him on there.
This is to make the cut. He's not winners.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
A couple that I don't hate. I don't mind the Hoygaards,
Yeah.
Nikolai and Rasmus.
Let's look at the last tournament. Whoever played better.
Between them two. All right.
Yeah. Let me pull this up
I
right
wonder. Oh, you got it. All right. I'm gonna say it was Nikolai.
If this hits, dude, this is gonna pay for your trip to the Knee Classic, brother.
Yeah, it is.
Let the boys know about the Knee Classic.
So we've got a bunch of guys. So we have our boy Nihoy Logan Marston, that does a tournament every year for his birthday. So we'll be at Yochadehi in June, late June. So what it is we'll play a practice round on Saturday, Sunday. Everybody's paired up between having your lower tier players and your higher tier players. We try to group them together so everything's kind of somewhat fair. That way, everybody has a chance whenever they get out there, and we play a scramble. So at the end of the day, champions will get the belts, so that we actually do have belts made for each individual person. They get to take
And
those home and bring
who
them.
owns that belt?
I believe it's 2 marks is from the last time I heard.
What are those 2 marks named?
One of them's Nihoy, and one
That's
of them
correct.
is yours truly,
Yes, it
Alec
is.
DeWattville,
Yes, it
Mr.
is.
Utah.
Your boy was absolutely firing, dude, in the heat of battle, high winds, tough
I will
conditions.
say, I heard you were low key carried.
Oh, I was absolutely carrying. I was on one.
I heard the
and
opposite.
I'm not
I heard
taking.
carried.
Oh no, you didn't hear anything at all. Because we took 90% of my shots. Nihoy hit a dope putt to save par in hole 2, so we birdied 1. Hole 2, we end up hitting it to like 35, 40 feet, and whatever. We're gonna leave with par. Nihoy buries it. Oh no. Oh, we had like a 30-footer for par. And
Really?
Nihoy buried it for par.
What a guy.
Yeah, it was bad, but it was good. And then there's a couple holes where like, and this is what we talked about on the first pod when it comes to a scramble, where like in that environment, like I ended up hitting a couple shots that like put us in scenarios where we scored. But like Nihoy Logan, he hit a couple fairway balls that are like, all right, cool. Like I have a green light now, but like if he didn't do that, like I have to,
Makes it tougher.
punch a 2-iron out or go aim for this or whatever. And it's like, I'm not gonna hit that 3-wood from 270 out that
Right.
ended up flagging to fucking 20 feet.
Right.
I'm not gonna try to drive this par 4 over the water. This golf course on hole 16 has a really cool. The fairway shapes left. There's a pond right here, and right over the pond is a green, and the carry is like 260, 270. Where if Logan doesn't hit it under the fairway, like I'm not gonna go for it. You know what I'm saying? But he did. We end up getting just off the green. We get up and down and whatever, call it a day. And so,
Nice.
it was a good day of like, I don't want to say ham and egg because that's obviously more of like a best ball type of term, but it was kind of one of those days when everything was rock. I was playing extremely well when needed, and Logan played extremely well to free up to do some hero stuff. So
Right.
it was fun, man. It's gonna be hard to reproduce this year, but I'm absolutely juiced. With that being said, I couldn't find anything on the Hogards, so
All
let's
right.
pick whatever one you want.
Go to Nikolai. It gets us
Nikolai, it is.
$12.47 off of this
Beautiful.
$25 wager. So we like everybody. We go. So today we got something going on FanDuel. Basically, we got Justin Thomas, Corey Connors, Xander Schauffele, Patrick Reed, Tony Finau, Steven Yeager, Brian Harmon, Phil Mickelson, Nikolai Højgaard, and Max Gracerman to make the cut. $25 to win $1,247. So we're gonna lock this in.
Yep.
We're in, baby.
We're in.
We're about to run this.
Count us up. Imagine this hits.
Fingers crossed, baby.
All right. I wanna talk about some controversial stuff that has come about Zyre Golf or just the social media world. So a 1.4 handicap had said, and pull up the scorecard of the Masters if you can.
Mm-hmm.
A 1.4 handicap made a claim that said that if he played on the conditions of Augusta, the week of the ANWA, which is the amateur women's event, he would shoot a 67, I believe. Is that correct?
Is he playing from the back tees?
No. So he's saying from
Playing
their
from their
conditions
tees?
and from their tees. Their
Okay.
tees are 6,500. Is that correct?
So a little bit longer than the member tees? Yeah. Okay.
Right? It shows women's there, right? What is it? 63? Oh, it's
Uh,
63. No, it's 63. It's right
63?
there.
Okay, yeah.
63, 65. Yeah. So here's what I'll say. I've been a 1.9, which is pretty much the same thing as this guy. Most of the time when you hear a scratch golfer or something close to it, they usually drive the ball well and then they do everything else like pretty solidly. And I would say from my perspective, like I do I have like approach in short game that's a little bit better than probably like a close to a scratch, if not a little better, and like my longer game is probably not when I'm playing my peak golf. And so if you find me on a golf course that's 6,300, like I definitely can see myself sniffing par. And if I have a day, like I can see myself breaking par pretty, not easily. You still have to hit good golf shots. It's
Right.
just golf. Doesn't matter what length that you play. But I can slightly agree with him there. To do it for 4 straight days, to do it with the crowds that even I know that there's there's a discrepancy with
Right.
how much crowd there is at the men's Augusta National Masters and versus the Annual. But I watched the last round there. It was a fat fucking crowd, dude.
Yeah.
Like if I'm gonna sit on a tee box in 18 with this tight little chute of trees, knowing it's a little bit of a dogleg right, and then you got to hit an uphill I'm nervous as shit. I'm probably not going to put that in the fairway, and that's something that a 1.4 handicap does not have versus these girls that are grinding
Right.
it out on competitive golf week in and week out. All right, ultimately, to answer his question, do I think a 1.4 handicap is going to shoot 67 at the Annual? No. I think if you gave him the same conditions and he got to play it over and over for 2 months, yes, I think it would turn into his home course. He would know how to play it, and he's a good enough golfer to have plugged that kind of score out after a given time. But you throw him in the middle of that tournament, no shot. No shot.
The only thing I'll say is I don't know what the greens were rolling, but I
They
think
did not seem as fast as what we normally see, to answer your question.
Okay. Because I know that's one of the things with Augusta is the undulation on the greens. You have to putt well there. I mean, they've got big greens. It's just gonna take hitting them.
Yeah.
I don't see because if we're looking at nowadays handicap, like I am a plus 4.2. That would mean back in the day that would mean typically when I go out on a course where it's just a straight up slope, I'm going to shoot 4 under every round. I don't go out and shoot 4 under every round I play. I typically like if I was having just a decent day, I would say anywhere around 72, and if I was playing my best, the lowest I would probably go is maybe 6 under. So I think it's more looking at like your best rounds nowadays with the handicap.
Yeah.
And if you're looking
Yeah.
at that at a 1.4, that means he's on a really good day, he's shooting 1 over. I don't see him shooting 67 out at.
But that's not what a handicap means, though.
So the handicap has changed. The handicap used to be what
your
your
best 20 based off the slope.
right. But
Your best 10 of your last
nowadays
20.
it seems nowadays since the switch, it seems like it's a whole lot lower.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Is what I'm
I get what you're
saying. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
like now, back in the day, my handicap right now would be like a scratch. It'd be probably a 0. Nowadays, since they've done all the changes, it's a plus 4.2. So I think it's more looking at if you have a good round then this is what you'll shoot. Rather than if you're just going out there, your typical is going to be. So I don't think a 1.4 is going out there and shooting 67. I think.
Do you think a 1.4 could break par?
It's 6,300 maybe, yeah. Because I mean, it's all just going to take par.
You've seen my game. You haven't seen like peak my game, but you have like a decent idea of like where it is. If I was firing on my strengths, do you think I could break par from 6,300 from there?
I would think so. It may take a couple times, like you said, but I think the biggest thing is you just have to par the par fours, par the par threes, and just take on the par fives. The par fives is where you would eat.
I think you have to. I think I would have to give myself really solid looks at par on the par threes. I think at 6,300, I would pretty much take care of the par fours and sneak away with at least 2 or 3 birdies.
Right.
And if I'm really going, it'll flyer. And I don't think the par fives are going to be easy because Augusta obviously has water undulation. Right. If you're up so far, especially on the par fives, it actually is almost a detriment. Like, for instance, like Rays Creek at 6,300, I'm assuming that whole golf hole is now like 490 yards or something like that. And then like when you're talking about cutting that corner and stuff like that, like hitting it, like it gets you into weird.
I think it would be very interesting. And I think one thing that they don't look at, like when they're talking about that, is how sloped the fairways are. Like you're never standing on a flat lie out at Augusta. Yeah. You're always on a slope. Like say when you get to 11, you're gonna be on that slope, having to play the big draw coming in there. I think it's just a little bit different.
Yeah. Speaking of abnormalities,
hand up accountability.
We take sips when we butcher words. So
we take lots of sips.
Pull up that DM of foreplay getting their putting fitting. Oh. And Scratty and I come through the background of fittings. Like we have studied the physics of golf through simulators, playing. We've studied the swing mechanics and how they impact ball flights. The same shit works on a different scale for putting. Now, we know historically speaking in the golf world, Riggs has the worst putting stroke of all time in all of golf. He does this shit for a living, and he's not trying to get better.
You know what's crazy?
I'm not trying to roast the guy by any means. But like, dude, you do this, you live it, you get access to the kingdom, you get access to coaches, you get access to pro players. Pro players are in your videos giving you lessons, and you keep the same grip, you keep the same stance, you pull the thing as far fucking close to your hip on your backswing, and then fucking cut the golf ball. Like, why are we not trying something different?
How does he roll it in over in?
The question that I have is, why aren't they doing something during these fittings? So like Foreplay has a video here that we'll watch about them and checking out some new flat sticks over at TaylorMade. I don't know if he was at the Kingdom or not, but regardless, like they have like the best technology. So let's check it out. Frankie's a sneaky good golfer, by the way.
This is like being at Hall of Wonders in Harry Potter. He remembers every wand he's ever sold. The wand chooses the wizard, Harry.
You're a wizard, Harry.
That was outstanding.
I'll buy it.
First goal, first thing we're looking for is finding a putter you return back to where you started.
I'll have another.
So it's not uncommon to have someone aim open and try to come through square, or aim closed and come through square. So they have this tendency of being open or shut of wherever they started. Frame of reference, 14 feet. It's about 0.8 to the right edge, 0.8 to the left edge. You started that one 0.6 open, came through 0.7 open. On a flat 14 footer, that's on the right edge and had a good chance of going in. But what's important about that is you return the putter within 1/10 of 1 degree of where you started. So you literally return the putter back to where you started. The next one, left center, but you returned it within 2/10 of a degree of where you started. 1/10 of a degree of where you started. So that's really impressive. I mean, when we talk about rotationally having the right putter in your hands, so now, knowing that, now aim is important.
Right.
Here's the end result. You don't push or pull putts. You were pointed there. That's powerful on the golf course. you know, and all of a sudden you just start trusting, within 2/10.
Wow.
Yeah, so you're in the right putter. I wouldn't touch it.
Now, what is this like setup called? Just so, like I know, like this is.
We call it a number. This is the X3, so it's a Spider Tour X number 3. Now, what the 3 is this hosel. We number our hosels. Number 3 is a short slant, right? So number 1 is an L neck, you know, that kind of thing. So that's why it has the number 3.
Number 3, okay.
Yep.
So I'm with number 3 guy, and I'm Frank Brelli the third.
That's pretty much setup Rory's got.
Nice.
I mean, ultimately, like, such a good breakdown from the fitter there to talk about roughly from a 14-footer, what degree of close gets you to the right edge for a lefty, and what degree of open gets you to the left edge. Which is cool because he basically let Frankie know, for one, like, Frankie's sneaky good, like I was saying earlier.
Yeah.
His putting stroke and the way he brings the face back is actually not an issue at all. He's in a good setup. He's been fit before. That putter fits him very well. His issue, if you heard at one point, he said he's like, you don't have a problem with pulling and pushing putts. He said usually your issue is you just aim there. So, like, what should a golfer like that do? Go throw some fucking alignment sticks down, go throw a gate drill down, and go just figure out how to hone in what it looks like to be aimed correctly, what it looks like to have your setup correctly, and dial that in, because Frankie's good. Now, it goes back to my question, though. Like, what are they doing with rigs? Dude, what are they doing with rigs?
I mean, one of the wildest things to me is, like, I've seen his putting stroke. I saw his, like, latest video where he was putting through the 2 bottles. But what's wild to me is, like, I felt like I have a somewhat decent putting stroke, but I cannot roll the ball end over end with that putting stroke, so I am working on going more straight back, straight through to get the ball rolling end over end. Riggs putts that way, and it still somehow rolls end over end, and I don't understand it. It blows my mind because I feel like I'm just a little into out, and I see his, and I'm like, dude, how does that ball roll end over end? It annoys
I'll get you
the
dialed
shit
in.
out
I'll
of
get
me.
you dialed in. When
But
you
no,
get in, like,
now I'm fine. I've changed my putting stroke. I go, so I have basically a putting board where basically what I was taught is a lot of people use something like, and they put it up against the head to keep them from coming inside or going outside. I was taught to actually put that at the balance point of the shaft so that it more affects my hands rather than I'm trying to control the head. So basically I feel it in my hands, so I've gone to a straight back, straight through stroke, and I roll the ball end over end a whole lot better. Only thing I got to change
you feel like you're hitting better putts?
yeah, I feel like I'm rolling it a lot better. It's a lot more consistent. It stays on line a whole lot more. I don't block them as much because I was coming in to out, and I just had to rotate the putter head perfectly to get it on line. The only thing I've noticed that I do need to change is I probably need to get a double bend because I now have a straight back, straight through stroke, and it feels so much easier to make that stroke with a double bend
With
than
the
it does.
face bounce. Yeah, yeah.
So it's unfortunate. I hate to get
You're
rid of
moving
the
in.
Scotty.
You're
I hate to get rid of the Scotty, but gosh,
Can
dang
I
it.
give you a recommendation? Go use the Phantom 5.0 or 5.5, whichever one's the face bounce version.
Uh-huh.
And with your new stroke, I think if you're not going to move into like a center faced lab putter or something,
Right.
this putter will probably be one of the easiest things you'll move.
The
I know you're a blade guy.
The one that I love, like, and I've always liked this putter just because it always sets up very well to me. There's one in our golf shop. I've been messing around with the double bend spider. I don't know what it is. It feels so comfortable in my hands.
Yeah.
That I feel like I
when
can
you're out at the
control it
Nihoy,
so
try
well.
Sean's.
Yeah.
I got Sean a short slant Spider X, and then I think I got him a double bend Spider GT.
Yeah. See, I like the double bend a whole lot more.
It's solid.
It feels so much easier
and the
to
reason
do
I'm
it.
saying that the short slant don't, because you obviously
Right.
need something that's more face balance with your stroke now. But there's a little secret coming into my bag that you know about that you might want to try when it comes into
I don't know,
play.
man. Well, I've got one. I've got my wife's in the bag. I've got my wife's. I've tried it, and it's
no,
not the same.
No,
No, it's not.
We're talking the Mezzy
I'm
one.
not on the team. I'm not there.
He's not there yet. So
Yeah.
our third partner, Kyle, he has a Mez one. I've hit it a bunch. It's a way different feel, and I will say, like, you go from something that's a hard face or like a Scotty where it feel like you get good almost compression off the thing where it feels like it bounces. Like this thing feels like it absorbs a little bit. It's really soft, but it is the easiest thing in the world to hit pure pods, dude.
Really?
I call it a cheater putter, and
God.
I'm happy to be on board. So when it gets here, it gets here.
It'll be exciting.
All right, side note here. Some fun shit that's happening in the industry that's come about. California has just announced, not California, but there's a course in California, in Murphy, California specifically, which is like, if you know where Sacramento is, it's probably like an hour south and then like another hour east. So it's a couple hours out of Sacramento. But check this out.
I will.
Begs the question, should we buy a golf course?
Wouldn't it be sick to have just your own golf course, your own playground? Speaking
about this.
of
Utah Valley Golf Club.
Utah Valley,
I don't know.
where are you going to play today?
Utah.
I'm going to the YV. What about you?
Ivy. Going to the Val.
Speaking of this course, look at this hole. How wide is this fairway?
Bro, like
This is
what
the
the
tightest
fuck?
thing I've ever seen in my life. There's no
Now,
way that's wider than
obviously-
50 yards.
Obviously, you can see the course is a little run down. They're not selling the thing for no reason. If I were to be transparent, Murphy, California is kind of in the middle of fucking nowhere. There's not a lot of people out there. But let's talk about like golf resorts that aren't in the middle of anywhere. Like Bandon Dunes is not easy to get to. It's one of the dopest resorts in the world. Pinehurst, not that close to a bunch of shit. You got to fly in and drive a little bit out to get to it. Pebble Beach, like there's no major airport to get to Pebble Beach. You have to go to San Jose or San Francisco and drive an hour to an hour and 45 minutes south, and then you're there, you know. And so this is a 9-hole. What surprises me most is it's only on 69 acres.
That is
I
wild.
think that it takes, like, obviously this course is is a forest golf, so it's a little bit more spread out than like especially links golf courses. Links golf courses are a little bit more condensed on top of themselves, and
Right.
holes are close to each other and shit. But this is crazy, man. I mean, it says this golf course is like what, just under $1 million?
Yep.
So, or just over $1 million. I mean, or what is it?
Just under.
Yeah,
999.
it's literally just under $1 million. And from a visual standpoint of this aerial view, it's a beautiful golf course. It's probably a beautiful area. It needs renos in terms of the course conditions. It also probably needs another 9 to be a full 18, so people are inspired to want to go play. People are definitely turned off on the 9-hole. They don't want to go drive somewhere far or pay a bunch of money just to play
Just for
9. So I think that it's definitely something that's like, should we do it? Yes. Should we call it Utah fucking Valley? Maybe. I don't know. But like, would it be a great place to shoot content? Yes. Would it be a place that we can grow into a lucrative business? Yes. But we need investors.
Yep. That would be so sick. Nice little resort area. Get some lodging going there.
Yeah. Play this real quick, and then I got a question.
Oh no!
All right. Two things. what a cool way to start your boys' golf trip. Because for one, like I've done this. I've taken some of my good buddies down to Monterey. Then we started off with the hay. I said, hey man, like you guys haven't been here to Monterey before. Let me like this is kind of my favorite place in the world. Let me expose you to it. So had everybody, we got checked into our Airbnb. We went over to the hay. We played the course, had food, went down and got drinks. Just below this, that road down there goes to Pebble Beach. Had drinks there, got some more food, walked around. Um, the next day, we ended up going and playing one of the Pebble Beach Resort golf courses. We played another one that was a local course called Poor Man's Pebble, which is a local muni called Pacific Grove. And every night we'd end up going either back to Carmel or we went to the wharf of Monterey or we went back to Pebble Beach. And if you're going to start a golf trip out with a hole-in-one like that, that is probably the most electric thing. The only thing I've ever seen like that in person, the first time I went up to Bandon Dunes, one of my buddies, he ended up holing out for eagle on the first hole of our trip. And it was so fucking cool, dude. It was so cool. I felt bad, though, because we were in a big tournament that week, and that round was a practice round. It was not a part of the tournament, so
man.
poor guy. But begs the question, if you're at a par 3 course that's puttable like this and you hole it, does it count as a hole-in-one? And then, if you're at a par 3 course that you play out and you're taking full swings or whatever and chip shots, and you hole it, does it count as a hole-in-one?
I mean, from last week's talk, I heard what you said. I guess, I mean, yeah. I don't know about the putting one.
Yeah.
But I guess I could see anything over 100 yards being a hole in one.
I'll say this then too. Like, let's say all right, me and you, we went and played Spanish. There's a couple holes, a little shorter. Like you hit a driver to like 30 yards off the green. Let's say you hold that. Would you call that a hole out?
I would call that more of a chip in.
Chip in?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say it was 40 yards. Chip in?
I think hole out would probably be like 70 yards and above.
So then what's the fine line of like, what's a hole out versus a chip in? 70 yards and above?
I would say 70 yards.
Yeah. I would probably say 50 personally.
Maybe, yeah.
But I think we're both in the same realm, It's like a mid-wedge shot regardless,
right.
So but yeah, I definitely, and the reason I say this is because when you get to like, let's say there's like a really long green and the pin's in the back and you're just off the front by 15 feet, 10 yards or whatever. Yeah, we'll call it 30 feet, 10 yards. Like that shot is a chip shot to get, and again, the pin's in the back where it's like a 30, 40 yard shot, that's going to feel like a chip. But if the pin's in the front and you have a 40-yard chip, like, still the same thing,
I think the difference in my head is anything shorter than 70, I could probably hit a shot where I kind of land it short and kind of roll it up to it. 70 yards, I'm probably trying to land it by the flag. I think is the way I'm looking at it. So
then it goes into like, it almost is the stylish shot. So let's give my for instance again, where you're off the front of a green and the pin's in the back, it's a 50-yard shot. If there's like a bunch of downhill slope and you want to land it close to the pin, you have to take almost like a 3/4 60 or 60 whatever.
Maybe it's more of how far you are from the green.
Yeah, I think you're right.
There's only one place that I can say different though. So we have a course here in Millington, Tennessee that was built by Justin Timberlake, and they have a green that is 80 yards long.
Jesus Christ.
80 yards long. So you could literally be front edge of the green and have a probably 75-yard putt.
That's crazy.
It's wild. That's the only one I would just be like, yeah, okay, you're hitting a full shot into this green from the front of the green.
Yeah. I think we hit it like spot on. It's dependent on how far you are from the green versus.
Yeah. Because I feel like if I had that 50-yard little shot there from the front edge and I was just barely off, I'm looking at that more like a chip because I'm trying to read basically the green going on. Maybe it's that. Maybe if you're reading the green, it's chip.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Because from 70
you're right.
yards, I may look at it and be like, oh, there's a little slope behind it. But I'm not sitting there thinking, okay, this thing breaks a little left once it gets rolling, stuff like that. Maybe that's.
No, I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah. That is a sick
So-
putt. Could you just imagine? That'd be so cool. Fucking
I
drained
can
it.
only imagine.
Speaking of, I want to break that world record. Longest putt world record. I want to do that.
Put it on the calendar here first. You heard it. Utah Golf will be breaking the longest putt ever recorded in history. We think right now it's held by.
I think it's held by Brian Bros. I think it's Wesley made it from 144 yards.
144 yards.
I think so.
As this is being filmed, by the way, shout out to the Florida Gators. Congratulations on winning the national championship. 65-63 over Houston. Game just ended today. That's
Really?
absolutely insane. So
Wild.
congrats to them. That's huge. Honestly, after Duke got knocked out, didn't give a fuck. So shout out to my boy Cooper Flag. Pull up that clip real quick. The dude lost 2 days ago. 2 days ago in a heartbreak. Duke was winning for 99% of the game. The last 30 seconds, they ended up giving up the lead over some free throws, and they couldn't get it back. He had a good luck. They ended up losing. It's a part of the game. It's tough. But pull up that clip real quick. The next morning, homeboy's grinding his swing.
Grinding.
Take a look at the swing real quick.
Got some speed.
He's got speed. He's got whip. He's tall as shit. You can tell that club's definitely extended, so it fits him. With
Definitely got some J's on.
Yeah.
And thwack.
Not bad. He doesn't have a bad move. Slightly
Twirl,
over the
twirl.
top, but
We got to work on that twirl. Him and Sean,
Yeah.
man. Him and Sean.
well, Sean has no problem with the twirl.
Oh, he twirls
Cooper-
it. It's just
Sean twirls the
unorthodox.
living fuck out of that thing.
It's just unorthodox.
If you're looking for a good club twirl, let me rephrase that. If you're looking for a club twirl, find my boy Sean. Oh, man. Beautiful stuff, dude. Exciting week. Stay tuned. We're going to be posting stuff all week about the Masters. I might come out with a par 3. I have a par 3 course down the street. Masters par 3 challenge myself. See what I can shoot. Have some fun. We'll see what happens. But I got Bryson DeChambeau winning the fucker. If Brooks ends up doing it, I'll be happy. Scratty has Bryson as well. We also put our 10 leg together. We'll stay dialed in there. So like and subscribe. We love you guys. Appreciate all the support. This has been an absolute blast. Shoot a comment down, please, if there's anything that you guys would like to see specifically. We will dial it in. We have a ton of resources to be able to dial in. We appreciate you guys. We'll fucking see you.
We'll fucking see ya.
Are we finishing these?
We're chugging these.
Hand up accountability to my wife. I apologize. That's gone though. Woo!
Woo, that was rough.
Yeah. That
Good
was.
list.